Hello everyone, welcome to another constructed video on MTG Arena. So, earlier this week I thought I was going to record with a Jund aggro deck that I came up with, and I was having decent results, not bad, but not impressive, so I decided to look around online and see if anyone else had played things similar, and maybe I could use those to improve my list. And I found out that Brian Kibler has been playing a green-black aggro deck, and when I tested it out, it was kind of just better than what I was playing, which was a little embarrassing, but I'm not going to waste time playing a bad version of a good deck that a good player came up with. So, this is green-black aggro. At its core, this is a deck trying to utilize Pelt Collector. There are not many 1-drops that can attack for more than 2 damage, but this is one of the ones that can. And this deck is very good at getting it up to 3 or even 4 power, which is an insane rate for a 1-drop. We have cards that have those extra big stats that we lean on a lot, such as Glowspore Shaman. One of the changes I made from his list was I added Kraul Harpooner. This card is extremely good against mono blue, and so I wanted several copies, and it's also very good with Pelt Collector, so I think it is definitely worth playing this card. Charnel Troll and Spawn of Mayhem are both above rate cards, 4 power for 3 mana. This usually costs 3. So they grow Pelt Collector and they just beat down. The Troll especially impressed me. Our deck isn't incredible at loading up the graveyard, so I was a little worried, but often just using the ability to keep him alive for 1 turn or 2 is more than enough, and this card gets so big. And then finally we have some amount of interaction, because we're not fast enough to just play the mono-red game and just beat people down, and we also don't want to just lose if the opponent plays a decently sized creature or a planeswalker or something. So, we've got a couple Kitesail Freebooter to disrupt the slower spell-based decks, Thrashing Brontodon to blow up random artifacts or enchantments that are bothering us, 4 Ravenous Chupacabra because this clears the way and adds another body to the board, it's just fantastic. And finally, Vraska Golgari Queen. He initially had 4, but I felt like the deck was a little top-heavy, so I took it down to 3, fixed the problem a little bit. She is really good in a world of Renegade Crisis, or not Renegade, Hydroid Crisis, being able to come down and blow it up because its CMC is always 2 on the battlefield, and then just turn extra lands into cards. Our deck is a little bit liable to flood out, which can be a problem, but Vraska helps mitigate this. And finally, the one other card that also helps with that is Growth Chamber Guardian. This guy turns into more Elf Crab Warriors, gives you an effective outlet for your mana. It gets pretty big, so often you'll just throw away the 4/4 in combat, because not only did it 2-do you up another one, that 4/4 is likely to be able to grow Pelt Collector up to maximum size. Oh, and finally, Gutterbones. Great aggro creature, difficult to deal with because it keeps coming back. We're not amazing at getting the Spectacle to bring it back, but we're good enough, so this card is fine. There's just no really other better card, and we definitely want more than 4 1-drops. Kibler was playing this in best of 1, so I came up with the sideboard myself. It is nothing particularly special. Duress against control decks. Note that as of recording this today, Nexus of Fate got banned, but only in best of 1. So in best of 4, we still need access to this card. Or best of 3. Moment of Craving for against mono-red. Our mono-red matchup is fine. Our creatures are big enough that we can just sort of hold down the board and let them attack into us and then take over and end the game very quickly. But you need at least a little bit of interaction to catch it up. Kraul Harpooner for people who are likely to play Lyra or Aurelia, or even just against mono blue. I want access to the 4th copy. Crushing Canopy, good against Drakes and Control, handle annoying enchantments or big scary flyers. And finally a set of Vraska's Contempt, because mostly this is for the black-green matchup, and maybe I'm not supposed to be boarding this way, but basically the way that black-green or Sultai tends to go is we get off to the early game and I'm doing fine. I've got enough answers to Wild Growth Walker that I don't need to worry about that, and my creatures are bigger and scarier than theirs, and I'm winning the game, and then they play a Vivian Reed, and it just takes over the game and I lose horribly. So the games where I can shut down Vivian with a Vraska's Contempt, I've been able to win most of the time, and the games where I can't touch her, I lose. So this is what I'm using these for. Anywho, the deck is pretty straightforward. I'm going to play black-green creatures and attack, so I'll go ahead and get into the games. Okay, first match against I Am Jesus, or possibly Jesus, I don't know. On the play, that's great. Deck really wants to be on the play. Bleh. Can't really keep this. A bunch of double black cards with no black. One other change that I made, which makes turns like that even more funny / sad. Okay, third land, I want that. If I wasn't keeping this here, I was going to look to put a land on top with Glowspore Shaman anyway, so this is fine. Whatever. Shock this in. Oh, but I cut a couple of the basic lands for 2 extra Golgari Guildgates, because the deck's mana requirements are rather intensive, and I was having trouble with just not... Okay, only milled 1 creature, that kind of sucks, but hopefully we'll be fine. Yeah, I was having a lot of problems with not being able to cast my cards. I kept getting a lot of opening hands like that last one, and I just couldn't do what I wanted to do, and that sucked, so I added the Guild Gates to have extra colored mana sources. So here, they can potentially Gates Ablaze for 2 next turn, and I have 1 card in the graveyard for my Charnel Troll already, so I'm going to go ahead and apply a threat that they can't really deal with in that way. Note that I only have the 1 creature in the graveyard, and so I only have 1 turn of this eating for free, and so next turn I am likely to want to set a stop on my upkeep, so that on upkeep with the trigger on the stack I can discard a creature so he doesn't eat himself. That said, if they Gates Ablaze, these will die and I'll just have plenty of fuel and won't have to worry about that. Yep. Cool. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and eat the Glowspore Shaman. We don't have any other way to utilize our graveyard, so basically the guide for this is don't eat Gutterbones if you don't have to. That said, I think I am actually going to play another Troll, because, again, these are the hardest cards for them to deal with. The most they can Gates Ablaze for next turn is 3, so they are very unlikely to be able to deal with these. And now I'm applying lethal and have options to eat for both of these guys. Yeah! Alright! Charnel Troll is the real deal. So, in this matchup, Ravenous Chupacabra is pretty whatever. He can get a Gate Colossus, but that's it, and that's, like, not really good enough. That doesn't do much. They have the Angels, but I don't even know if they'll board in the Angels against me. Vraska is kind of similar, so I'm going to go down 1, although she can hit Guild Summit, and that's really nice, so I'm not going to completely cut her. Basically, I'm going to add 4 Duress, because taking Gates Ablaze / Guild Summit is amazing. And now I need to add 1 more / figure out what else I want to board in. I've boarded in Vraska's Contempt before to get rid of the Gate Colossus, because they kind of have trouble winning if that card is gone, and this is the only way to get rid of it forever, but I don't love that idea. So what I'm going to do is, aside from the Duress, which you don't really have to factor this into your curve much when you're playing because it's so cheap and efficient, I'm just boarding in the 4th Kraul Harpooner as an additional aggro creature. Basically, I am just leaner and more aggressive than I was before. And it's possible that after this game I'll change my mind. Maybe I'll cut the Harpooner and go slower or something like that. But with the Duresses, they have to both draw Gates Ablaze and have me not Duress it to avoid just losing the game to my aggro draws. And one thing that I'm going to do... Go ahead and mulligan. This hand is much better. I am going to look to board those Chupacabras. Cool, I need land 3. I'm going to look to board those Chupacabras back in for game 3, because I don't know if they will yet, but they are reasonably likely to board in Gatebreaker Ram against me, and if they do that, then I need to be able to clear it, so... Okay, Duress. Yep, they have the Ram and Guild Summit and Lava Coil. My, this draw is mean. Huh. So they only have 2 gates in play, which means Lava Coil is the only card that can kill Spawn of Mayhem. They can just untap and Gates Ablaze if I let them do that, though, so I think I have to shut that down. Basically, I am going to, this game, apply a little bit of pressure on the ground, and then I'm going to look to, next turn I'll throw away one of my attackers, because they're going to play a Ram as a 4/4 here. Yeah, but that'll let me get Spawn of Mayhem down. The problem is that Spawn of Mayhem is just going to die to this Lava Coil. So, this game might be over already. Trying to figure out what to do. Yeah, their draw lined up pretty well against mine, and they drew the exact card I was worried about, and maybe I'm supposed to leave in Chupacabras just because it's so likely to bring those in, so if I play against deck gates again, I think I probably will do that. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play out another Pelt Collector and pass, because if they don't have a gate, they can't really attack, I'll just block, and that's fine. Guild Summit, sure. No gates. Okay, they're going to play one, though. That is unfortunate. I might just block to kill this anyway. But, okay, they weren't interested. So, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to sandbag this Spawn of Mayhem. I don't have a lot of ways to kill Gatebreaker Ram in my deck right now, so it's reasonably likely that I need a spawn to win the game. Like, that's what I'm going to have to do. But this way I'm just going to build up a board. They only have 3 Gates Ablaze left, so what I think they're likely to do is to Lava Coil one of my creatures, and then I can set this up and try to win the game with Spawn. Okay, they do another basic. That's good for me because it doesn't trigger Guild Summit. Haha! They've done what I requested. Alright, so I mentioned it, but I don't need to throw a creature away here. I can just play the Spawn of Mayhem for 4. I'm going to go ahead and pass. It's not worth trading one of my creatures to get in 5 damage yet. I might do that later, though. Hopefully they haven't drawn another Gates Ablaze or Lava Coil. But they did. Sad. Okay, I basically need another spawn to win here. Maybe if I draw one of my Vraskas, I can blow this up and be in it, but seems unlikely. Lava Coil is, like, so extra... Oh my god, they drew a 3rd one. Huh, that was a weird animation. But Lava Coil is so stupid good against my deck because of the Exile clause. Like, if I had at least gotten to grow my Pelt Collector from Spawn dying, that would have been something, but... I'm gonna go ahead and get this off the board right now. I assume they're gonna sweep or something. Nope, just play Gate Colossus. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pack this one in. So, basically, I raised the idea of a way that I could sideboard, and then got absolutely destroyed for not boarding that way, so we're not gonna make the same mistake twice. I can go ahead and cut... I think Growth Chamber Guardian is honestly pretty bad. Like, this card commits a lot of your mana. So I'm going to get in ways to get rid of the Ram. And I'm tempted to bring in ways to get rid of the Colossus too, but that might be overkill. Maybe cut the last couple Vraskas. These are good against Guild Summit, but maybe that's not the type of game I'm winning. Maybe I'm just trying to win the game quickly. Alright, this might be a foolish way to sideboard, but I still haven't completely figured out this matchup. The problem is that when I win, it's not usually because of sideboard cards. I usually just kill them really fast. And when I draw sideboard cards, they'll just like... Yeah, like this hand sucks, but God, do I keep it anyway? I don't think I can. I think I need pressure. Hand's kinda better. A second land guarantees, or makes land 3 for Charnel Troll, quite likely, so... But yeah, I've been winning games where I just aggro the opponent out, and losing games where it goes long and my sideboard cards come into play, so I'm like tempted to just not use them, but then we have games like that where I just lost because I didn't have sideboard cards. Like, if I had killed that Gatebreaker Ram on turn whatever and just been able to apply infinite pressure, that's a completely different game. Playing Glowspore Shaman here because they are unlikely to have anything particularly scary to do on turn 2. Their deck's just not set up that way. And this way, I'm very likely to have land 3, so I can go Duress Freebooter to really screw up their following turns. Here, well, they still have tap lands, so they're not going to be able to ram soon. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Growth Spiral. We're pretty far from Expansion Explosion mattering, and I'm gonna take it anyway. Although, it's possible for that reason I'm supposed to do this the other way around. Remove the the expansion explosion forever and just keep them off Growth Spiral until Growth Spiral doesn't matter anymore. Okay, here, they should just play tap land and pass, unless they drew something good. They did not. Unfortunate that Pelt Collectors kind of getting left behind here, but I think I just really need to go to town. Here, it should be pretty difficult for them to live through this turn. Even if they play this as a 6/6, I can grow Troll up to trade with that, and then they take 6 and almost die. Go ahead and eat the Harpooner, that's fine. Alright, would have liked to have a land, but, yeah. Huh. I have to lose this to trade. I have to discard the Pelt Collector to trade with Gatebreaker Ram. I don't think I can beat a Gates Ablaze here. I think I do need to play to get the Ram off the table, so... Okay, they're at 1. They can't Gates Ablaze. They can do this with Exit 2, but that only puts them to 2, so they're still really dead on board. I don't know if I said... I can't beat a Gates Ablaze, is what I meant. Yeah, alright. So, that was sort of what I meant. We drew a Duress, but that was all. We didn't draw any other sideboard cards. We couldn't at least cast the Vraska's Contempt, but we just won by beating down. So, maybe someday I'll figure out exactly how to play that matchup. Alright. Match 2. Wait, why am I a Johnny? Huh. In the update today, they must have, yeah, no, I'm Vivian. They must have set everyone back to random. Keeping, this hand is great. Aggro creature that sets up our best aggro creature, just ready to beat down. Breeding Pool, likely Sultai. Yep, just because Sultai is really popular. I'm certainly okay with this being a turn behind. Our hand is okay against Sultai. If they play a Wild Growth Walker and start going off, we can kill it with a Ravenous Chupacabra, but it'll still gain them a lot of life and shut down our aggro draw. And Charnel Troll is good as long as they can't kill it, but they can always kill it. They just always have whatever they need. Okay. I would have liked to draw that card, but these two are certainly fine to get rid of. Basic Island, okay. Thief of Sanity, alright. That's gonna die. We can't let that happen. If that hits us even once, we're in a lot of trouble. Oh, Golgari Guildgate, that's convenient. Kinda wish I had a Pelt Collector here, because I would actually double grow it off of my Kraul Harpooner. But alas, we do not. 5th land is kind of bad, especially with one of our Vraskas gone already. We don't have anything that costs 5. Okay, got rid of their Llanowar Elves. We're doing okay. This is also the type of game, though, that, like, if they shut down my aggression here, and then the next turn they play a Vivian and just start drawing cards off of it, and I can't pressure it enough, we're just kind of screwed. Right, this is not big enough to matter, so I'm just going to play a Charnel Troll. Like, if this were a 4/4, maybe even a 3/3, I would consider getting rid of it, but it's so not very relevant right now. It trades with our free creature. Drawing 6th land, extra bad. Really gonna need to draw cards. Draw cards with text on them. If there are like 3 Ravenous Chupacabras stacked on top in a row, we'll probably be in a good spot. Really just hoping. This was their double black and they didn't shock it in. Okay, so they've got a Thief. Llanowar Elves is fine. I'm gonna hold on to my Chupacabra then to handle the Thief. I'm hoping they're just kind of flooded out here. Go ahead and eat the Shaman. Alright, that is a fine draw. Yep, their blocks here are bad, because obviously we can just rebuy this, even on board. And this guy has Trample, so... I'm gonna go ahead and activate this main phase so I don't get blown out by a removal spell on their turn. If they cast Find Finality, it wipes their board and my troll doesn't die, so... Oh, there's an indicator for what cards are revealed now. Awesome. I've been wanting that for quite a while. Alright, they were not able to deal with the troll. Troll, I think I mentioned, I initially wrote this card off because it seems difficult to make it work, but it is. It takes a little bit of effort to make it work, but once you do, this card's dumb. It's so powerful. Alright, I've complained enough about Vivien, but their deck honestly doesn't have that many non-creature spells, so Kitesail Freebooter is just kind of bad. And Spawn of Mayhem has the potential to win the game on its own, but it dies to all the same things Troll does, and also Vivien Reid, so I go ahead and trim a couple of those. I've had so many draws where I, like, think I have the ideal aggro draw, but I'm really, really leaning on Spawn to be able to close the game, and then they just drop Vivien and kill it, and I can't pressure her, and I just lose the game, and I really wish it were just anything else. So, yep, this is pretty much what I want for this matchup. The basic island makes me wonder if they're doing something a little different. I know recently people have been playing Sultai versions without Wild Growth Walker, and I really, really hope they're one of those, because Wild Growth Walker into Jadelight Ranger is by far their scariest draw. So, if they can't do that to us, then we should be in good shape. This hand isn't good enough. Like, even if we draw another forest, we have something to do, but, like, not really. This hand's better. Sure, we need land 3. Tap land is not exactly what we wanted, but... Who knows, maybe we'll draw another land by then and be able to activate this on 3. Or at least draw something else to do. Our deck has a lot of 2-drops. Well, that is not a 2-drop. It is something to do even if our Chamber Guardian dies, though, so that's fun. Gonna kill my Pelt Collector? Okay. Huh. Wonder if they have something else going on. I would have waited and killed this to cut off the flow of cards. They might be doing that anyway. Yep, they are. Okay. Land. Oh. Well, that is not the worst thing in the world. I want to play this card in a deck with Rhythm of the Wild just because this card is so funny with haste. Alright, now I could really use land. Land, please. Oh. That's unfortunate. Well, I'm gonna play the troll. I assume they're just gonna play my Harpooner here? No. Okay. Well, I won't complain. I'm just gonna try to do this pre-combat. Get rid of this so they can't block or anything. Well, that is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I'm going to attack here because they could trade with the troll. They're going to be able to trade with the troll. I was thinking it might be better to wait and let it get bigger so that they can't trade it with these, but they're going to play my Harpooner, so they're going to be able to trade with it. So yeah, opponent is not playing the normal Sultai strategy. This is very different. Huh. Interesting attack. Troll keeps getting bigger and it has trample. Like, I can very much win this if this goes long. Cool, now I can play and activate Growth Chamber, which just shuts down their aggression. Kind of think their last card might be a land. Or it's either that or a Hydroid Crisis, and if it's a Hydroid Crisis, then we're doomed. But, I'm gonna go ahead and activate this now so they don't draw into a removal spell. Take action, get another one. Alright, so we are quite favored with what's going on right here, and that might just all flush down the toilet if they play... Well, that card's annoying, but that's not what I meant, so we can beat this. Please don't draw a Crisis. Okay, that's much better for us. Alright, eat that last card in the graveyard. So let's see, if they grew this, how much can they attack us for? 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12? So they can't kill us even if they grow this. so I can be pretty aggressive here. I'm gonna go ahead and attack them. That forces blocks, and probably not good ones, and then I'll just Contempt Vivian after combat. Oh. Oh, okay, I can't just click all attack anymore. That's fine, though. This is a good interface. I've wished I could all attack Planeswalkers before. I'm gonna go ahead and right now set the stop on my next upkeep. I'm probably going to activate Charnel Troll, ditching Growth Chamber Guardian. Alright, I'm fine with this, because the Troll is going to trade for basically everything on their board that matters. And also pressure their life total. And I get to get rid of Vivian Reed. Even if they activate Incubation Druid to, like, set up a good board, Vraska can eat that card. So... what do you got? Please don't be a Crisis. Please don't be a Crisis. Alright, that is basically as bad for me. Yeah, go ahead and draw. Huh. Think I'm just, like, dead here. Like, here, I'm gonna play a Glowspore Shaman, because I think they kind of want to Frilled Mystic something here, so I'm gonna try to bait it. If they don't Frilled Mystic this, I'm just gonna pass. But, I need to commit to my board, otherwise they just activate this and then untap Hostage Taker and ruin my life. Which, like, they're kind of doing anyway, but yeah, this way I get to stick a Guardian. So now I have 2 potentially lethal threats. Problem is that they are just going to take this and play it. Find getting back a Mystic Snake and a Hostage Taker is so, like, beyond reasonable. This is just like a 5-for-1. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they got rid of my creature. So yeah, this was a 5-for-1. It's not... Huh. Why didn't they take this one? Oh, they didn't want me to be able to tutor for another. Huh. It's like actually kind of okay for me, because their attacks aren't good anymore. I'm gonna go Vraska, and I'm actually just gonna eat a land to try to draw into something good. I guess their attacks are fine, because they can grow this, but... well, that's unfortunate. Basically this way, they can grow this and attack in, but they're still gonna have to lose creatures to... or at least lose a creature and maybe expose themselves to pressure Vraska. So that's why I think upticking is better. If I downtick, she goes down to 1, and even if I kill like one of these... okay, that was a really, really good draw for them. I think that's game. I think I had a chance if this doesn't happen, but that was too much. See what they do. I assume they're gonna try to kill Vraska here. She's dead. That's fine. There's no way for me to block to save her here, because if I block this, then they just make it big. It'll eat it, and she'll take 6. If I block anything else, they still make her big, and I just lose the game. Assume they'll block here. Yeah, they don't want to, like, lose to a Spawn of Mayhem trigger, if I just played that. Yep. So now they can start hitting me and just leave back like these two because they block very effectively. So I don't have long, but it's possible they make a mistake, and they're so low that I'm going to play it out. This is really aggressive. Are they... I don't know what they can be doing. I'm certainly not dead here. Yeah, okay. Taking like 12, even if they grow this? Yeah. Even that was, like, kinda dangerous. Like, if I draw a Chupacabra and kill this and then get in, they trade for one of these and still take some damage. I will decline because I really don't want to draw land. But yeah, like, I can take these again, and then their blocks aren't nearly as good. So I have to block at least block this. I'm gonna block like this. If they do something good, I just am screwed, but whatever. I am so far behind this game that I kind of need them to just have nothing. This attack is, like, pretty hasty. It's like, they're dead on board. They need to handle both of these to not just die. Maybe they drew, like, a Krasis and they're just gonna gain 1,000,000. Oh god, please don't tell me it's another Find Finality. Okay, sure. After the 5th time getting Hostage Takered where they get to play the creature, I'll give in. Do I want to do anything different based on what I saw? Not really. Like, I've got about as much removal as I'm gonna get. This can shut down an Incubation Druid early, but that's pretty whatever. It doesn't kill Hostage Taker. Not super interested in that. I could see wanting to work... Oh, they don't have artifacts or enchantments. I'll get at least one more Spawn of Mayhem back in here. Maybe go like this? I don't know. I'm kind of setting myself up to just lose to Hostage Taker again, but... Alright, play first. Yeah. Got 1-drop, 2-drop, mana that works, and a way to mitigate flooding. Not my favorite hand in the world, but not terrible. I don't know. You never know when, like, Glowspore Shaman's gonna turn over Gutterbones and you'll just have a good aggro draw. Or you'll just draw land and flood out and die. And mill one of your Growth Chamber Guardians, so one of the reasons you kept the hand is worse. I don't know that I've ever played a Glowspore Shaman and not milled a Growth Chamber Guardian. Without... Oh my gosh, please. Mill 3 non-lands, any one of which I would have loved to draw, and then draw... Oh god. But yeah, this version, without the Explore package, like, they get to play more removal, so they're not dead in the early game. They've got, like, cast downs and stuff. Yeah. So they get my Pelt Collector here, but, like... If they just were playing difficult to deal with creatures that gain value or get really big, I think they'd be better off. I really don't like this version of the deck. Okay, so they still have that. Oh god, Find Finality. My worst nightmare. I'm gonna get Vraska going. It'll be difficult for them to deal with her. Wow! Holy crap! They were that scared of that? They weren't even taking that much damage. Their hand must have been awful, but... Yeah, so I was gonna blow up the Jadelight Ranger, hit them for 5, and then she can turning these extra lands into real cards. And if they want to tap out to Vraska's Contemptor, then I just hit them for even more, and they are kind of dead. But I really think they probably could have fought through this. I guess that's what happens when the opponent doesn't know that you're sitting on 2 lands. Okay, third and final match. We are 2-0. On the play again. Sweet. I think this hand's too bad. This hand also kind of sucks, but hopefully we draw at least 1 land. We got the Scry. No, Troll, go away, please. I don't know. We have 1,000,000 cards that cost 2, 8 cards that cost 1, and we're playing 23 lands, so, like, both of those openers were pretty statistically unlikely. Oh well. I'm gonna go ahead and play out the Guardian here. Blue-green doesn't tell us that much yet, and so I might want the Kraul Harpooner for sniping something. It's possible that I should just assume that I need to be the aggressor and get this down early, though. Alright, well... See what they do. This could mess me up if they have a Merfolk Trickster, but that's basically the only card, and that would be a really weird way to use that. But alright, maximum pressure. Like a bounce spell or something? Or are they gonna burn a fog this early? As I mentioned before, we are playing best of 3, so people can still play Fog Nexus of Fate decks if they want. That matchup is really tough, game 1. Yeah, that's what's happening to us. Then, like, this next turn they can play a Reclamation, untap, fog us, and then just, like, win the game. And we have very few tools to deal with that game 1. Alright, well. I'm going to attempt to apply maximum pressure. Gonna hit them for 6. And then I set the stop because I'm gonna play a troll, because even if they have some way to deal with 2 creatures or something, this can potentially be lethal in itself. And plus we have multiple creatures that suck in this matchup, so I can go ahead and pitch these freely. It doesn't matter. Okay, Quench. Sure. That would have punished either of these just as badly, so it really doesn't matter. They haven't shown another color yet. I don't know. It seems hard to generate enough card advantage to keep the Nexus loops going without another color. I'm gonna take the shot in the dark and say that they are the Bant Nexus deck, because that's the one I've seen the most. So I'm guessing that Teferis will be present, and I will board appropriately. Chupacabra, god-awful, terrible card. Vraska, very bad. Card advantage doesn't really matter much in this matchup, at least not for me. Like, drawing cards doesn't help. Just taking away theirs does, so she doesn't really do much, and she doesn't blow anything up, so that's kind of terrible. For that same reason, I'm going to cut down on Growth Chamber Guardians, and there's no reason to keep just one in, so I'll swap him for the 4th Kraul Harpooner. So this way, we can blow up Wilderness Reclamation a lot, we can rip up their hand, we can apply good pressure, and if they either play a Teferi or just, like, some big creature, like, I don't know, like, maybe they're Teamer and they want to play a Niv Mizzet or something like that, we have a pretty all-purpose answer. If these turn out to be bad, like we don't see any more colors or anything, for game 3 I'll cut these for Growth Chamber Guardians. Just more creatures to attack. I think this matchup is actually quite good post-board. Got 6 discard spells, lots of ways to interact with Reclamation, and their deck is pretty bad at winning without that card. And of course, those things that I just mentioned don't actually matter unless you can also apply pressure. You need to have Disruption plus a quick clock, and we are very good at that, with Pelt Collector into 3-power 2-drop into Charnel Troll or whatever. It's kind of funny, when I was playing Jund, I was winning a little, but not that much. And when I switched over to Kibler's version, I started just winning an incredible amount. I'm like, wow, this deck is really good. And then I went on one of the worst losing streaks I've ever had. So I kind of wound up about where I was before, but now it seems that we're winning again, so. I would say that I'm playing better since I'm performing, but anyone who's watched my videos before knows that that is not necessarily how that works. We haven't drawn our Disruption, but we don't necessarily need it. This is a really fast clock. Oh, it's saving the stop I set last game. So what I'm going to look to do here is Gutterbones into Harpooner into Troll, and then, unless one of my creatures dies somehow, which doesn't seem likely, I'm going to, on that 3rd turn, activate, ditching the other Troll, and then I can play the other Gutterbones, and just have all the power in the world. This is not a great start for us. They gotta be just straight blue-green, right? Like, there's no way that 3 lands out, they're missing their 3rd color again. Maybe we'll be brutally punished here. No Wilderness Reclamation again. I'm not totally sure what's happening, but oh well. It's also possible if they were mana screwed the previous game, they're sitting on like a glacial fortress right now, and they want to wait and then untap and play it to fairy, because that'll surprise me. Like, they might be intentionally hiding their third color because they were missing it the previous game. Okay, maybe they're just like a flash deck. That is pretty mean to Charnel Troll. I considered doing like Pelt Collector into Gutterbones instead or something, and now I really wish I had, because... Ouch, this card is a beating. Oh god, they're just like a blue-green flash deck.
How this thing goes is no one knows the wilds like I do.
Well, this is kind of terrible for us. We have boarded incorrectly. They are apparently just playing blue-green flash. Like, this looks like a Wilderness Reclamation card, but they're just not doing that. And so... I've got a bad board. Oh my god, and this card is such a beating. Yep, go ahead, draw. 5th land, not great. So I'm going to go ahead and do this all first, so that if Kraul Harpooner dies, it will grow my Pelt Collector. Or I guess I can do this as a follow-up later, actually. Aha, use the new command. Okay, I'm officially a fan already. I assume they'll trade here, that's fine. So, blue-green, I think, is going to be somewhat problematic for us because of this, and we're not boarded for it. But unless they are doing something kind of odd, this card being on the table is probably just going to be the death of them. Blue-green are not the colors you want for dealing with Charnel Troll. Interland Harbor, sure. I'll probably leave my Duresses in. I would really like to draw one to look at their hand and see what's going on. I want to find out exactly what's happening to me. That said, if they have Vivian Reed, they might not have enough creatures. Yep. Well, I could have predicted that that was happening. Go ahead and eat the Harpooner, sure. Terrible draw. Alas. So here I can go ahead and get her off the table. Even if they block here, she dies to the Gutterbones, and they can eat my Gutterbones, but whatever, I'm playing another one. Damn. It's unfortunate because this is exactly the matchup where I really wish I had a Growth Chamber Guardian in my deck right now. And I think I cut Vraska too. I cut all the cards that would be so perfect to draw here. Oh, and I think I cut, did I cut Chupacabras? I meant to. Yeah. Just everything that would be good for me is not in my deck right now. Please, Charnel Troll, we need you. If I brick again, I'll, Jeez. Oh, man. Their deck is mean to what we're doing. They can grow that twice, so Charnel Troll's just really not safe. Well, that is a good draw. Oh, no, it's not, because they've got the friggin' Frilled Mystic. Well... Okay, so what I can do here, I'm going to attack with Charnel Troll, and if they double block, that's fine. I just eat the Krasis and nothing happens. But if they activate Surge Mare to try to eat my Charnel Troll, then they are tapped too low to Frilled Mystic. Oh my gosh. I'm going to go ahead and concede. I don't think I can win anymore. I'm locked out with Frilled Mystic. I don't have a creature to set up Charnel Troll. Again, I'm just dead. Deck is built wrong. That's just not worth playing out. I see what they're doing now. So, Duress sucks. Vraska's Contempt is fine. Crushing Canopy, probably good. I'll go down to 1, just in case. Can cut one of those. It's still pretty good, but I don't need the full set. Chamber Guardian, awesome. Vraska, awesome. Chupacabra, probably great. Alright, so now we need to cut 5 cards. Go down a little on Vraska's Contempt. We need it for Vivienne, but probably not as desperately as we do in the black-green matchup. I'll go ahead and cut the Crushing Canopy. I think we can handle flyers now that we've brought in the creatures, and we don't know if they have any enchantments. Let's see, do I want freebooters? Probably. I'm gonna trim on the 2-drops. This is probably not correct, but I don't think it's that incorrect, so... yeah, we're gonna go with that. Dang, I was feeling really good about the blue-green Nexus matchup, and then we just got walloped. Good on the opponent for conceding when they did in the first game, because they conceded specifically when I did not have enough information to make good choices. Here, Glowspore Shaman, we don't need it to find us lands, but we have 2-drop, 3-drop Planeswalker. So if we start flooding out, hopefully Vraska can turn these lands into something, and unless they growth spiral into hold up 4 mana, they're not going to be able to counter Vraska with a Frilled Mystic. They are playing Quench, so do need to watch out for that. Alright. Go ahead and decline. I would have liked to draw those two. See if they have a Quench. They do not. Okay. So now we've got a good board, and they didn't get to Growth Spiral either, so... I think they might be in trouble. 5th land, not a great draw, but... maybe they have negates? No, they do not. Okay. Well, nothing in our deck costs 5 mana, and so even if we just get into the loop of play land, eat land with her, we'll always have enough mana to play our cards. Of course, we drew the only thing in our deck that makes us want to have 5 mana, but that's fine. I don't have anything I want to play pre-combat, so I'm actually just going to get in with these guys. They want to flash in a Frilled Mystic to trade there, that's fine. Gonna do this. Okay. Let's see if they want to counter our Gutterbones. They did not. Alright, and I'm gonna attempt the Guardian. If they counter it, whatever. We have so much going on and they're almost dead. Yep, Frilled Mystic. Now they're like kind of tempted to pressure Vraska here because she is doing work for us, but they can't really do that because we have too many creatures on board. And also just keeping her on the board is like a huge threat to them, because at any time if they try to stabilize with a Hydroid Crisis, they know it's just instantly going to die, so that's not really viable. And this is the weakness of these flash decks. Like, if you got to start the game for both players on turn 4, I feel like they'd be nearly unbeatable just with this card. But that's not how Magic works. You need to be able to get through turns 1 through 3, and we just went 1, 2, 3, or we went 2, 3, and then had another one to sneak into one of our turns later. I assume they've got another one and they're going to block here. This is cool because we're preventing the normal 2-for-1 that this card gets. So what do we want to do here? I could hold up Vraska's Contempt, but I don't actually think that's great. Instead of eating a land this turn, I'm actually going to eat Gutterbones. Because Gutterbones is the hero we need and managed to deal damage, so he gets to rebuy himself. Cool, and we're back to having plenty of lands, and we're at a more easy to play with spot on the curve since we got our 1-drop for another turn. Like, instead of playing 4th land and eating it and all that, we get to play 5th land and eat them. Alright, so that was pretty awesome. Just a quick 3-0 against very different decks, showing our aggressive draws and also the interaction, and importantly, how good Charnel Troll is. So yeah, I think this deck's really good. So, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, I would love it if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel. It helps grow it so that other people can see our stuff, and makes sure that you don't miss any of the weird nonsense that I play on here. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.